Hello, Creative Gems. Welcome back to Creativity. I'm Sandy, and today we're back to craft with some wired baskets, all from the Dollar Tree. To embellish this basket, I have a bunch of these silver plastic spoons, also from the Dollar Tree. From a previous project, I already separated the handles, and that's what we're going to use to embellish this wired basket. To begin, I'm going to apply a small dollop of hot glue on both ends of the spoon handle and then place it vertically onto the wired basket, flush to the rim at the top. I'll continue to place the spoon handles vertically onto the wired basket until I have a complete row of spoons all around the basket. One thing to note though is to leave a tiny gap between each spoon handle, and I'll show you in a bit why. And another suggestion I would offer is that if you're finding the spoon handles are not adhering well to the basket, I would reach inside with the glue gun and apply some hot glue to the spoons from inside the basket. At this point of the craft project, the steps are pretty repetitive, but I do assure you it will be well worth it. These spoon handles are so lightweight and they come in a pack of 24 for only $1.25 per pack, so I always try to stock up whenever I see them. The only problem is that here in Canada, where I'm from, they stopped selling them sometime last year. So this last batch I'm using is part of a haul I brought back when I vacationed in Florida last year. And even when I'm in the States, I notice that not all the Dollar Tree stores have these spoons in stock, so whenever I do see them, I try to grab as many packs as I can to bring home. I actually would be curious to know if you have these at your local Dollar Tree, and if so, which state are you located in? Comment down below with the word spoon and let me know. Maybe that will help me decide where to vacation next. Just kidding. Well, maybe not. You never know. So we now have our first row of spoon handles placed all around the wastebasket. Now we're going to go back in and fill in those gaps with more spoon handles by alternating the spoon handle placement using the skinnier end of the spoon handle to go in between the first row of spoon handles. We work on this basket. I would like to take a moment to thank you for tuning in to today's craft project. If you enjoy glam home decor and DIY crafts on a budget, please let me know by hitting the subscribe button. And if you like what you see today, please give me a thumbs up as well so the YouTube gods will continue to recommend my channel to other viewers like you. Now, because the gap is pretty small between the spoon handles and we're working with hot glue, you should be careful not to get the hot glue all over the other spoon handles when placing the second set of handles onto the basket. What I finally figured out after getting hot glue all over the place was to position the handle down onto the basket first, then reach into the basket with the glue gun to affix the spoon handles to the basket. That really made the process less messy and it went a lot faster. Once the second row of spoon handles are placed down, half of your wired basket should be covered. So the next thing to do is repeat the same process to cover the bottom half of the basket. And you'll likely need less spoon handles because the bottom half of the wired basket actually tapers in slightly, making the circumference of the basket towards the bottom half smaller. Once the entire basket is covered in spoon handles, you can call it a day and consider this basket finished. But if you know me, you'll know that I'm going to continue embellishing this basket. First, I'm going to camouflage the seam between the top half of the basket and the bottom half, where the second and third row of spoon handles meet. It's also another excuse for me to bling the basket out further using this beautiful silver crystal and rhinestone trim. This trim is self-adhesive, so I won't have to use any more glue. And the trim can also be cut to size, and it's flexible enough that it can be molded into the shape of this basket. And by the way, if you're interested in any of the embellishments or crafting tools I'm using today, I'll have links for you down in the description box. So after placing the trim to the middle of the basket, I went back in and did the same towards the very base of the basket as well. And here's the final look for our Dollar Tree wired basket. This basket can actually be used as a trash can, and I must say it's the prettiest trash can I've ever seen, don't you think? But what if we decide to repurpose this basket? Well, that's exactly what I had in mind. So I also have a bunch of these gold wired baskets from the Dollar Tree. They're about half the size of the one we just embellished. What we're going to do is temporarily set aside the first basket we worked on to focus on these two gold ones. I'll use some zip ties to tie them together so the base from each basket are attached. The easiest way to do this is to place one basket upside down with the opening facing the table surface, then place a second basket on top so the two bottoms of the baskets are touching each other. Then you can go in and loop your zip ties in through the wired baskets. And once you have the first zip tie connecting the two baskets at the base, adding a few more zip ties will be much easier as the two baskets won't be moving around as much. Once you have the first two gold baskets secured, you can snip off the excess of the zip ties, and then you can go in and add a third basket by attaching the third one at the opening of the basket. Use as many zip ties as you need to in order to ensure the baskets are secured tightly together without shifting. When you're done with the zip ties, remember to use a good pair of scissors to snip off all the excess. And here's what our tower of wired baskets looks like so far. Now we're ready to take our first wired basket that we embellished and zip tie that to our set of gold wired baskets. The base of the first wired basket we embellished should be connected to the base of one of the gold baskets. This part may be a bit tricky because you'll have to reach into the wired basket to tie the zip ties to the gold basket, and the amount of room you have to work with inside the basket is not much, so take your time. When you're finally done, you should have four wired baskets connected together, and that will become the base of our new side table. Now, for the tabletop, I have chosen a simple solution using this 15 1.6-inch silver platter I found at the dollar store. On top of the platter, I'm going to place a silver metallic mesh placemat for some visual interest. You can either find one online using one of my links in the description box or simply run into the Dollar Tree and go to the kitchen section to find a gold or silver one of this placemat. And here's the final look for our wastebasket side table. By the way, I forgot to mention that since the zip ties we used were white, I actually used a paint marker to paint them metallic silver so they would blend in with the rest of the silver and gold table. The side table I think is pretty unique, and I love how we combined silver and gold together to make the table. Comment down below with the words silver and gold and let me know what you think of today's silver and gold home decor pieces we made. Which one did you like best? And if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe to my channel and share with other creative gems. Remember to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I have another DIY glam project on my channel.